The quintessential definition of a Super Bowl preview. You have arguably the best team in the AFC going to the best team in the NFC here in this Week 15 matchup. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down the Buffalo Bills-Detroit Lions game here for you. But before we get into that, we are 300 subscribers away from 6,000. So let's see if we can knock it out and hit that goal this week. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think will win and why. Ryan, Bills coming off a loss, but if you're probably one of the best losses, I think we'll see absolutely amazing performance overall by Josh Allen, this Bills offense. Just probably the game of the year, if we're being completely honest, against Los Angeles. And so they're going to be going to Detroit in this Super Bowl preview matchup here. Take on Jared Goff, who they are coming off a Thursday Night Football win over their NFC North rival, and then on another great game as well. So two teams. These are probably the two of the hottest teams, I would say, in the NFL. Right, Philly's up there, I would think.
You have to put the Rams in that. I know they're 7-6, but you have to put the Rams in that conversation after Sunday's game.
Maybe their defense is very vulnerable, but like they played the Rams, like the Bills didn't, like they played really well. But there's a couple of mistakes in there. The Rams played almost the perfect game, even if you go look at like some of the time of possessions. There's one point, this was like in the middle of the third quarter. Actually, no, it was, but still, Rams had the ball for 38 and a half minutes of the game. It's like we all saw what. So Josh Allen scored all 6 touchdowns for the Bills in only 21 minutes of game time. 21 and a half minutes of game time. Like, so it was the perfect game by Los Angeles. So that's why it's like if you're a Bills fan, you're like, and Bills have a good front seven. And that's why I think it's going to be really interesting in this game as well when they face the Lions. But the Bills, if there was one area where they needed to improve on, was in the running game. Josh Allen was by far their leading rusher today. He had 82 rushing yards, and he had several of his carries were like big breakaway runs. I think he had a 30 and a 20-yard run. James Cook, he only had 6 carries, but it's for 20 yards. And then Curtis Samuel, he had 1 carry on like a jet sweep or something. But that's what's going to be the fascinating area. It's because you're going to be going up against this Lions team who is currently ranked 5th overall in rushing yards allowed. And so that's like, is Josh Allen going to have to be Superman again? Which it's like, and the Bills like can win that way, absolutely. But you'd want to see a more balanced approach or whatnot. So then Josh Allen it can almost free him up a little bit more because we don't know how long Josh Allen could keep playing like on this specific. Like this was Josh Allen's MVP level right there. So how is the Lions rushing defense going to do against the Bills rushing offense? And Lions defense is decimated with injuries. They had other guys who got hurt. Elaine McNeil didn't come back into the game against the Green Bay Packers because of a head injury. I don't believe it was a concussion. I thought it was a head injury. And then all the litany of other Lions players that keep getting hurt. So that's what's going to be very fascinating in this game. What's one big key X factor for both teams that you think they're going to need to prioritize to come out victorious?
Yeah, for me, the Bills, they have a good front seven. They had no sacks against the Rams in the Week 14 matchup. So can they get after Jared Goff in this Lions offense in that front for me? Can they win that battle? This is a really good Lions offensive line. And so can they get some pressure on Jared Goff? Can they start getting some sacks and get back in that column as well? And then offensively, can they reestablish the traditional running game? They really struggled just like lining up and running the football. And this is a good Rams front, but this is also still a good Lions defense. And one thing that they have shown, even through all these injuries, this defense is still going to play hard. They're going to come downhill well. And I think that is kind of the key for the Lions. And this one, they did a really good job getting after Jordan Love last week with all the injuries that they've had. So can they keep that up against Josh Allen? One of the things with Josh Allen versus Jordan Love, Josh Allen is much more of a threat out of the pocket. Not that Jordan Love is not, but Josh Allen can really burn you outside of the pocket. And so can they also keep good rush discipline while getting after it? Because sometimes they would just go all out against Jordan Love, and not that it wouldn't get home, but they might run too far upfield and open up some rushing lanes.
Yeah.
And they can't do that against Josh Allen. He'll burn you. And then as a fantasy owner, but also as a fan from afar, I would love to see them get Amon-Ra St. Brown more involved. He was only involved in a few key scenarios last week, and I think he's your possession receiver. If you get behind the sticks, get him the ball in space, let him go create, let him go get you some first downs, and shoot, let's get him back in the touchdown column. My fantasy team needs it. So I think that's going to be big, getting the ball into the playmakers' hands for the Lions, because this secondary is good. Christian Benford has been really good. Oh crap, who's the other one? Terrell Bernard has been good. I think there are some other weak links on this defense that can be exposed. I know what's his name, the linebacker, he just came back from injury.
Matt Milano.
Matt Milano is back, so that's shoring up the middle of the field a little bit there as well. But I think there are some opportunities to exploit this Bills defense a little bit for this Lions offense.
Well, and that's what's actually kind of interesting is I would say these offenses are kind of similar. Normally, it is the Bills offense kind of goes to the run first, or like more of that traditional running style than what we saw today. And to be fair to the Bills, it's not really like I think that they got behind the 8 ball pretty quickly. And so I think there's less opportunities for running. To be fair to the Bills as well, because they only had 6 rushing attempts for James Cook. But typically though, both of these offenses, like offense runs through the run, that's going to open up the play action, is going to open things up downfield as well. But now with the addition to Amari Cooper, there's a great deep threat now option for Buffalo Bills. Keon Coleman, he hasn't even been playing the past couple of weeks, but Matt Collins really stepped up as well. You got Khalil Shakur, which is like your Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jameson Williams is that speed deep threat guy. Tim Patrick is like now that veteran receiver that's stepping up. So I think these offenses actually are kind of similar. The one big X factor is Josh Allen's legs versus Jared Goff's legs, which Goff is not really known for his running capabilities. And so Josh Allen's just a Superman. That's what's going to be very interesting is how do these defenses go about one another, because on the Lions secondary side, they've got Carlton Davis, they've got Terry Arnold. They've given up a lot of yards, so statistically they're ranked pretty poor when it comes to passing yards allowed. But they've been leading in a lot of these games that teams are throwing against them as well. So more opportunities, I guess, for penalties, more opportunities to give up yards, which that's what's going to be very interesting for this game is if the Lions get a lead, and I could see that happening as well, a similar type format. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for Josh Allen and this team to have a similar type game. Now, the Bills don't want to play that way. That's why I think coming out coming out to start, how are they going to do against this Lions rushing defense, which is top 5 in the league in rushing yards allowed? Because if they stop them and they have to rely on the pass more and they get behind the 8 ball, then that's going to be a very interesting matchup, because the Lions secondary is better than what they faced today against the Rams. Josh Allen and company could really kind of do whatever they wanted. So this is going to be a very fascinating game. I think to your point that there are some things that they can exploit on the defensive side of the ball. The Bills' run defense is 19th in rushing yards allowed. The past two games since their bye, and to be fair, I guess the Dallas game was in a snowstorm, so pretty much like the San Francisco game. Only thing San Francisco could do is run the ball. They have given up 153 yards in that game, and then 137 rushing yards in this past game. So there are opportunities. The Bills' run defense has allowed teams opportunities to put up some rushing yards against them. Not saying they'll do that here, but if the Lions can run the ball all over them, it's going to open things up the passing game as well. Don't know if you can say the same that the Bills are for sure going to be able to do that to the Lions. So we'll have to wait and see. I think it's going to be – this has a possibility to be a game of the year candidate. For me, this is going to be such a great game. I almost feel like the Lions are due for a loss. And so I'm actually going to go with Buffalo here on this one. Could absolutely see myself being wrong on this. I just think this Bills offense is it, and especially with Josh Allen. Josh Allen's playing really well. Bills didn't really even run the ball that much today because they got behind, and then when they tried to, wasn't really super successful. I think they're going to correct some things. I'm going to go with the Bills in this one here.
Okay. I was going to take the Bills in this one, but I'm behind in our season-long competition. So I'm going to go with the Lions. They're 6-1 at home. This is a tougher road game for the Bills, who are 4-3 on the road. The Lions just have an aura about them this season. And it is kind of one of those things where watching this defense and watching these guys step up and fill in for injured players is I don't want to say it's like magical, but it's just really impressive to watch what this team has done in a pinch when a lot of their key defensive players have been hurt, and they're still playing defense at a pretty high level. So I don't think there's going to be a big drop off defensively. I would like to see Aleem McNeil get back and be healthy. That would make me feel a lot more confident about my pick. But I think either way, I'm still going to go with the Lions here. Also, like you mentioned this, so Khalil Shakir is like Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have like, I don't know. The point I was trying to make there, the Lions' weapons, in my opinion, are like the plus versions of the Bills' weapons. And I just think looking at that wide receiver room, even like David Montgomery, Jamyrr Gibbs, I just think those are plus versions of Ray Davis and James Cook. And so I just like the skill position players. I think this offensive line is going to be able to dominate it for the Lions as well. So I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to say 31-27 Lions.
I like it. I'll go. I'll do 35-31.
Okay.
Not Green Bay, Buffalo,
Detroit, or Buffalo. Yeah.
All right. This is going to be such a great game. I mean, this is probably the hardest pick that we're going to make all year. That's not true. We've had some hard ones when it was been like a 2-8 team goes up against a 2-8 team, and both the teams suck. And you're like, no, these are really hard too, because it's the exact opposite type of toughness. So, but it's going to be a phenomenal game.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Buffalo Bills? Will it be the Detroit Lions? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.